Hey generations, I wanted to take a moment on this Tuesday and I wanted to introduce you to the concept of conflict animals. Did you know that you have a tendency, you have a way of a default setting, so to speak, of handling conflict? When there's a disagreement, when somebody steps on your toes and hurts your feelings, when there's conflict at work, you have a default setting. You have a tendency to handle conflict a particular way. And so I have found that conflict animals are a great way to talk about that. And I've had a lot of fun lately talking about conflict animals, so I thought I would make this handy little video. So here's a picture, and this is what we're going to be talking about over the next couple of minutes. We're going to be talking about sharks, turtles, teddy bears, and foxes. Let me start off with the sharks. The sharks are the people who are aggressive, they're competitive, they tend to be the people that are like, it's my way or the highway. They're the kind of people that when there's conflict, when there's a problem, they're going to bark at you, they're going to rip your arms off, and they're going to say things like, let's just get it done, we'll do a body count later. Oh! Sharks are scary when it comes to conflict. Kind of the opposite of sharks are the turtles. The turtles are the people of, as soon as there's conflict, they go, they withdraw into their shell. And if you ask them, hey, Mr. Turtle, Miss Turtle, is there a problem? They go, oh no, nothing's wrong, everything's fine. And they do everything they can to avoid. A turtle, when there's conflict, they see somebody they have an issue with or there's conflict with, they will avoid that person. They will go down the other aisle just to not even have to talk about it because they want to avoid anything unpleasant at all costs. Of course, then you have the teddy bears. The teddy bears are the people that when there's conflict, they want to make sure the relationships are right. So they'll do the whole thing, Gary and Denise are fighting and all that. Okay, whoa, can we stop for a minute? Could you guys just hug each other? Like, I just need to know that everything's okay and that the relationship's okay. Just tell each other I still like you, okay? Like, teddy bears, in some ways, are the worst, right? Teddy bears will allow you to rip off their arm, stomp on them, hurt them, as long as it keeps the peace. Teddy bears are very accommodating when it comes to conflict. They want to keep the peace at all costs. Last but not least, we have the foxes. The foxes are the people who kind of get a lay of the land and they see how everything's shaken out and they know you're going to win some and they're going to win some, but they're going to win more. A fox is always calculating to see how they can come out on top. And those are just 4 unique ways that we tend to handle conflict. And it's kind of helpful to know what your default setting is with your husband, with your wife, with your family members, with the people that you work with when it comes to conflict, because these tendencies can often get you in trouble. For example, if you're a shark, it's probably a good idea to, after the act of violence and yelling and everything else, to say something like, hey, I noticed that I ripped off your arm there. That probably hurts, doesn't it? Or if you're a turtle and you've been like, there is anything wrong? It seems like you disagree, and you're like, no. You take that step and go, okay, yes. When you made that decision, it really hurt my feelings. Okay, and then you can go back in your shell. If you're the teddy bear, you should probably resist the urge to make everything better and let the conflict run its course. And of course, if you're the fox, right? There's this dynamic of, hey, I kind of played this whole thing and I'm smelling like roses and you may be a little resentful about that. Okay, so again, there's this dynamic that plays out with conflict. Just know that you have a tendency when it comes to conflict, and you can either be a shark, a turtle, a teddy bear, or a fox. Thanks, guys, and I will see you this coming Sunday when we introduce a new virtue.